I never thought that a school lockdown would be the setting for the most terrifying experience of my life. It all began one gloomy afternoon when our teacher announced that we were going into lockdown mode due to an unexpected security threat. The classroom door locked with an ominous click, and the blinds were drawn shut, casting a shadowy pallor over the room. As the minutes ticked by, unease settled in our hearts like an unwelcome guest. We sat huddled together, trying to make sense of the situation. Our teacher attempted to calm our racing hearts, but her own trembling voice betrayed her fear. We had no idea what was happening outside, but the distant wailing sirens only heightened our anxiety. I stared out of the classroom window, my gaze fixed on the empty playground. The swings swayed gently in the wind, an eerie reminder of the children who once played there. The trees, usually a comforting sight, now stood like sinister sentinels, their branches casting grotesque shadows on the ground. Suddenly, a faint whisper cut through the silence. It was a voice, soft and chilling, as if it had emerged from the shadows themselves. "Help me," it pleaded. Barely audible, panic surged through the room as we exchanged terrified glances. "Did you hear that?" I whispered to my closest friend, Lily, who nodded, her eyes wide with fear. Our teacher's voice trembled as she urged us to remain silent. "Stay quiet, everyone. We need to wait for further instructions." But her words were drowned out by another ghostly whisper, this time louder and more desperate. "Help us, they're coming." A shiver ran down my spine as the whispers multiplied, filling the room with a chorus of distress. The voice seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere simultaneously, surrounding us like a sinister choir. With each passing minute, the whispers grew more frantic, more insistent. The pleas turned into screams, and I could feel the terror building within me. I looked at my classmates, their faces pale and contorted with fear. Then, a loud bang echoed down the hallway, and the screams outside the classroom multiplied. Something was terribly wrong. Panic surged through the room, and our teacher struggled to maintain control. I couldn't stay in that room any longer. I had to know what was happening. Gently, I stood up and crept toward the door, careful not to make a sound. As I reached for the doorknob, the whispers grew even louder, and the air grew thick with dread. With a trembling hand, I turned the doorknob and slowly pushed the door open. What I saw in the hallway froze the blood in my veins. Shadows, dark and malevolent, swirled and danced like living entities. The walls seemed to pulse with a sinister energy. I took a step forward, and the whispers grew louder, more urgent. I realized they were coming from the lockers that lined the hallway. I approached one cautiously and, with trembling hands, opened it. Inside, I found nothing but darkness, but the whispers continued, now forming coherent sentences. "They're trapped. The shadows, they take you." I slammed the locker shut and stumbled back into the classroom, my heart pounding in my chest. I tried to convey what I had seen and heard to my classmates, but the words tumbled out incoherently. Hours passed, and the lockdown finally ended. The police arrived, but they found nothing unusual in the school. No shadows, no whispers, nothing. To them, it was just a false alarm. But I knew what I had experienced was real, and the terror of that day would haunt my dreams for the rest of my life. To this day, I can't walk past a school without feeling a shiver of dread, knowing that sometimes the scariest things aren't the monsters under your bed, but the ones lurking in the shadows of your own imagination.